In this episode, Cadillac's new flagship, the Fisker Rōnin, and the new Nismo Z. Welcome to episode 254 of the We Are Auto Show. What's up, Derek?
Mr. Michael Rao, do you remember in the last, I think it was news episode, started talking about this crazy superconductor material that some Koreans had created?
I do recall that conversation.
Yeah, it was called LK99. Turns out, from the more research that has been done, might not be what they thought it was. Unfortunately.
Was there some cheating?
I don't know about that. I don't know if it was just scientists trying to get their name out there in the world. Could have been more of a publicity thing. But it did spark a bunch of research around that area, and other materials will come out of this that probably would not have initially come out of this if all this hype hadn't been created.
Interesting.
It is interesting because it kind of leads to the idea, why not just make a super hype thing? And will humans just turn it into existence, even if it's just theory?
That may actually work.
I don't know. Maybe. It's kind of a cool idea, though.
It's a wild theory, but it could work.
Yep.
So let's get into something else that's a little bit wild. Let's start with the new Cadillac, the Celestiq.
The Celestiq.
Yes, it is their new flagship. It is their new, holy grail car.
Is this the new CTSV kind of
Not
thing?
even close.
Oh, okay.
This is Cadillac's answer to Rolls-Royce.
Ah, luxury.
Yes, so many moons ago, Cadillac was known for being like the lap of luxury, right? You and I are both a bit too young to remember Cadillac as anything but cars for retired old ladies in Florida.
Yes, I'm thinking of like traditional Cadillacs would have been taking bumps without any problems. Like an Escalade is supposed to be luxurious.
We're talking back in the day when it was the cream of the crop.
Is this what this is supposed to be?
Yes.
Ah.
So it is electric. It is an electric vehicle. This is actually the most extravagant and expensive car that Cadillac has ever built.
It's the most expensive?
Oh, yeah. I'll get to the price in a minute. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, you already see the price at the top of the screen, but we'll get back to that. So when it comes to this car, it is big, and it is low, and it's long and slippery, right? It's supposed to be very luxurious.
Is it a shooting brake?
It's a hatchback, yeah.
Okay.
It's quite odd. The body is supposed to be very slippery. You do not get door handles. What you get, though, you get power-operated front and rear doors that open at the touch of very discrete buttons on the B-pillar. But the Celestiq will actually give you a light show when it detects the key fob is within 15 feet.
Okay. So it's using Bluetooth or something like that to figure out you're close.
They call it, I don't know, but either way, what it is you walk up to 15 feet to the car, and before you unlock it with the little discrete buttons, the lights, which apparently it's Cadillac's first ever digital micro mirror headlights that feature 1.3 million pixels each. Well, they start dancing and things when you're within 15 feet of the car.
The mirror?
No, micro mirror headlights. That's what they call
the headlights. Okay. Well, okay. So it's like a little LCD in the headlights, I'm assuming?
I think so.
That's kind of interesting.
Really sure, to be honest.
Interesting. Okay.
Now, fun fact about this car that I think you will really enjoy. About 115 different parts were 3D printed.
Whoa.
Like our new pop filters. Hey.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, you get a lot of screen inside. So moving into the interior, you get 55 inches of OLED screen.
The screen does go all the way across the dash.
It literally goes from left front pillar to right front pillar.
Right?
Legitimately.
And then there's what looks to be a little tablet kind of thing down.
Yep. You get a separate little 12-inch tablet down there for the volume and things.
Interesting.
Yep. You do get a privacy glass over the passenger side, so that when you're driving, you can't watch movies over there.
Huh. Okay.
So
I think that I heard about this. They're trying to use like polarization or something like that to make it so the driver's not distracted to the passenger's screen. Cool idea.
Cool idea. Yeah. Another thing that you're really going to like, because I believe it was actually one of your I wish they would have, was you get a smart glass roof.
I was looking at this. I was looking at this photo specifically and going, what's going on there?
It allows people inside to control the amount of light coming through in 4 different sections of the roof. So the driver can have more sunlight, but the back right passenger can have it super dark.
I like that. That's cool.
That is kind of cool.
That is cool. How well it works would be a question to me, because light scatters pretty well across like the materials that are in a car. So unless all of them are the same type, I imagine you can't just have a halo coming down directly on the driver. Right, just sun rays.
Beam me up, Scotty.
It's not quite like that, but I'm sure it does dim and darken pretty well.
It's probably pretty neat. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Now, you do get a pair of electric motors. You get one on each axle. They are supposedly going to work together to give you 600 horsepower and 640 pound-feet of torque.
That's plenty.
It's plenty, but it's going to be a heavier car. But I will say, much of the body is made of carbon fiber. So it'll be heavy, but I don't know how heavy.
Really?
Yeah. It's a weird thing.
Is like the exterior made of it, or does it just say body?
Many body parts.
Okay.
I'm not so sure. Either way, Cadillac does claim that this all-wheel drive Celestiq will get you to 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds.
Quick.
For a big, pompous, flamboyant Cadillac thing. Very. They do go with that new style taillight of the hockey stick, as it looks, which is kind of weird, but it's a thing.
I'll try and find a picture of that for you.
There you go, the hockey sticks. Yes.
I see.
It's a right-hander or a left-hander? Is that curve legal?
No, certainly not.
Cadillac is also claiming that the Celestiq will go 300 miles of range on a full charge with a 111 kilowatt-hour battery pack. It's a pretty big battery.
111?
That's freaking huge.
What?
That's freaking huge.
That's massive.
That's like almost Hummer level massive.
Yeah, that's like 1.5 times a Model 3. That's huge.
It's huge.
It only gets 300 miles? Oh boy. Where did all the efficiency go? It looks like a pretty efficient shape as far as aerodynamics go.
It went to the smart glass roof and all the electrics inside, I guess.
I don't know. That's weird.
And the light show. It went to the light show.
Your headlights just nom on the battery.
You get no range now.
I don't know. That's weird.
It's the price you pay for the lap of luxury, not being able to drive home because it's too far away.
I suppose.
Now, we did mention that this is the most expensive Cadillac that's ever been built. The price. It's about $340,000.
What?
I said that right. It's $340,000.
How did they manage to make such an expensive Cadillac?
I don't know.
What?
What about this is worth $300,000+? Would you like an house or an Cadillac?
You're right.
I mean,
you're actually right.
Jesus Christ! It's $340,000 for this thing. For taillights that look like hockey sticks.
What should the price have been?
$180.
I was thinking like 150 to 120.
I would like to say less than that, but then I was thinking of the Cadillac Escalade, and then I thought, okay, it's got to be a little more than that if it's going to be a flagship.
How much is an Escalade right now?
Yes.
Oh boy, is it north of 120?
I think for the Escalade V, you're probably about there.
Oh boy. Okay. This is on another planet. This is in another solar system, in another universe. This is just gone.
Where is $340,000 worth of value coming from?
There's nowhere. There's not even close to that kind of price. It's a cool tech thing, but maybe this should have just been a show car that they brought to CES. Maybe they should not have put a price tag on it. It's fine as a concept car. It's fine for your engineering to work out how the polarizing glass works on the passenger, how the sun rays don't get in on the top, how we put an LCD screen in the headlights and not distract other drivers, whatever. It's just don't put a price on it, because that is silly.
It's $340,000.
There are so many better
Would you like
other
to mortgage
cars.
your house for this car?
That's insane. Now, let me ask you this question. The buyer of this, does the price matter?
There's buyers of this?
That might be a better question. Who does buy this?
No, the price doesn't matter to the buyer because the buyer doesn't have a brain.
The buyer has to be at least like 10 million to 20 million in wealth.
Yes, the buyer lives in California and is probably a star on some reality show and just wants to say that they're doing something exciting, so they bought this.
A professional soccer player in Europe that's getting paid a lot of money.
No, they won't want this.
I don't know who wants this.
I don't either.
Nobody.
That's the problem.
There's someone.
Why would you want this?
There's someone, but they're way out of their means to get this. And everyone who has the means to purchase this is like, why would I get that?
Yeah, they're going to look at this and go,
Huh?
You know, I've heard the Rolls-Royce Ghost is really nice.
Yeah, and like cheaper. And
I think it's about the same price, but yeah.
More luxurious and has a better brand. A Cadillac or a Rolls-Royce.
This is supposed to compete with Rolls's and Bentley's. I don't see it.
No.
I don't. Oof. It's something.
Okay. What a weird vehicle.
It's something. In this picture, you only get two knobs. You get like a power and volume knob. And the whole interior.
In theory, the touchscreen can do whatever it wants.
That's what it's going to do.
Right. It's going to do everything else in the car. It's the Tesla way.
Yes.
Take away all the physical controls and just have one tablet to do everything. And then all of our parents just lose their minds.
And me.
And you're right. You fit that category.
Yes. And me, yes.
Yes, you dinosaur.
Yes. So this is the new Cadillac Celestiq. It's a very expensive Cadillac sedan wagon hatchback shooting brakey thing that doesn't make a lot of money. Might make a lot of sense, I should say.
No.
But let's move on to another expensive, silly thing.
Great.
It's the new Fisker Rōnin.
Fisker's back?
Fisker is actually starting their deliveries of their Ocean SUV. So they made the Karma a long time ago, and then you and I a long time ago had this conversation. It was like, Fisker was dead, and then we're like, oh wait, no, they're making a new SUV. It's called the Ocean. Yes, the Ocean is starting to be delivered, but we're going to talk about the Rōnin.
The Rōnin. Never heard of this.
The Rōnin, yes. It's supposed to be a classic grand touring car for the people who love to drive.
Oh boy.
That's what they're claiming this as.
Fisker tried to make a Miata?
No, because it's got 4 seats.
It does have 4 seats?
Yes. It's confusing. Apparently, actually seating for 5 people.
What is going on with the doors in this thing?
Well, we're going to talk about
that. Holy moly.
This is odd.
Yeah, well, okay. The caveat, Fisker's always been odd.
True.
There's never been a normal Fisker.
You're right. There's never been anything about Fisker that you kind of look at and you're like, oh, yeah, I get that. That's fine.
No. So, starting off with the base of weird, I'm not surprised that there are weird triangles in the ribs.
I feel like every Fisker that we've ever heard of, always you approach it with a little bit of a head tilt. A little bit of a, okay.
What are they doing here? Let's try to figure that out.
It's supposed to be a sports grand touring EV thing.
Those things generally don't go together well, but let's keep going.
Correct. So, like I said, the CEO of Fisker, this is Henrik Fisker, is saying that this is supposed to be practical, but also for people who love to drive at the same time. So that's not usually how that works.
No.
If you really love to drive, you're not going to love to drive a minivan because it's practical.
No.
And if you really want practicality, you're not going to buy an MX-5 because it's... No. Yes, this is odd. Apparently, let's see. Fisker is pitching the Rōnin as a response to the trend of high-performance SUVs. What? So, and that's what made me scratch my head, because in the first sentence it says it is a classic grand touring car for those who love to drive that competes with high-performance SUVs.
Huh?
I'm very confused.
You made a 4-seat,
Five seat.
That's even worse.
I'm very confused.
You made a 5-seat, kind of, sort of Miata competitor that's supposed to be an SUV, an electric.
I don't understand this car.
You can't do all those things in one car.
You can't be all of those, correct?
No, not
You're
even
usually
close.
one or the other.
You pick one and you stick to one.
And I'll get more to the car, but I feel like this leads to the adage of if you chase two chickens, you catch none.
Yeah.
Just do one thing really damn well, and you'll be better off than trying to do a bunch of things kind of okay.
This feels exactly like that.
Like, like if Fisker wants to make a sports car, just go all in on making an EV sports car.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go, I'm going to make an EV sports car, but it needs to have storage and needs to fit 5 people like an SUV. It's not going to work, dude. Just, yeesh.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's a thing. Moving on to what the drivetrain is here.
Mm-hmm.
You get a claimed 1,000 horsepower from 3 motors and all-wheel drive to give you claimed of 2 seconds 0 to 60. It's very powerful.
I noticed a couple things when I was scrolling through these images. The first one here, are you seeing any mirrors?
No.
Yeah, they're missing.
Yeah, they're cameras.
This is the most classic concept EV thing you'll see out there is all the mirrors are gone. And then, they get into actually producing this and going through the crash testing and getting it certified. And they're like, oh, yeah, we got to put mirrors on it.
Yeah, and they're claiming they're targeting a 600-mile range, which is probably because it doesn't have mirrors.
Yeah, and they're going to have to add mirrors.
But then when the mirrors come out, let's see, that'd be 450 if they're lucky.
Yes.
Yeah. They're claiming 170-mile top speed, which is fast-ish.
For an EV, it's relatively quick, yeah.
Oh, for an EV, yes, but in the grand scheme of things, okay.
Yeah.
This thing is, apparently it's based around a lightweight aluminum space frame and rides on those wheels. Okay, before I tell you how big they are, try to scroll through a picture of the wheels.
They already look massive.
Yes, but remember, this is a classic grand touring car for people who love to drive. They're 23 inches. It's the biggest amount of wheel for... What is this thing?
We're going mudding in our
What
Miata
is this?
minivan SUV.
Jesus Christ, what is this car? I am so confused. They put 23-inch carbon fiber wheels.
I don't know.
What is going on?
Could
Could you imagine finding tires for a very odd 23-inch rim?
The only thing I can think is the tire is essentially another gear ratio in an EV because you're very limited in the number of gears that you have to select. So they messed up some ratio in the motor and had to just throw bigger tires at it to go reasonable speeds. I don't know.
God, it's weird. You mentioned door handles.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's see. The doors are butterfly doors.
I can tell that.
Yeah, they're butterfly doors. You get door handles for the rear doors.
Only.
Yes.
So you open the rear, and then you have another latch or button or something.
No. The front doors are opened by swiping the handle, or you use the phone.
The rear handle?
You come up to it and you go, ear, 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 ear.
The rear handle?
I think so.
To open the front door? Huh?
This goddamn car is so stupid.
Fisker. Fisker. What is going on here?
I don't know. And would you like this to get even more confusing?
Yeah, bring it on.
You know how much they want for it?
No.
$385,000. What is this thing? 380. So the perfect 2-car solution to someone that doesn't have a brain or eyes is a Cadillac Celestiq and the Fisker Rōnin. If you have so much money that you don't need to look at things or drive things anymore, it needs to be a Celestiq and a Rōnin as your perfect 2-car solution.
These are 2 very silly cars.
I don't understand it. They're apparently saying orders are now open.
Oh, of course they are.
I'm sure they're flooded with them.
They'll take their money.
I'm sure they will. They're estimating deliveries in about 2 years.
No.
But hold on. Fisker doesn't actually own any manufacturing plants. Did you know that?
Oh, God.
They're contract manufacturing.
Of course.
They still don't know where they're going to make this. Are they going to make it in Austria? Are they going to make it in Ohio?
This is at least 5 years out from...
Yeah. Can we be real? Yeah. Let's try. I would estimate 6 to 8.
God. At that point, this car is going to be way out of date.
It's so dumb.
It's way out of date. There will be a Mercedes, a BMW, a Cadillac, even a Dodge version of this at that point. A Dodge. And Fisker will still be messing around with trying to manufacture this.
They'll still be trying to figure out where they're going to build it.
But you know what? They'll already have a $500,000 other competitor to this that they'll have taken 15 pre-orders on just to keep the company afloat. Because that's the motto that they run by. It's like, how many pre-orders can we get to keep the staff that we have on hand?
Is Fisker just a pyramid scheme?
No, because
or
they
a Ponzi scheme?
They give you a car. It just takes. They're just a giant way to get a lot of interest-free loans. That's what they're doing.
Oh, I'm sure they've got to be violating some SEC thing because this just seems ridiculous.
Yeah, there's a product there. They give it to you eventually. Maybe. Possibly. I don't know. What will come first? The Fisker Rōnin or the Tesla Roadster?
Oh, shit.
Because the Roadster's been like
they've been teasing that forever.
They've been teasing it for like 10 years.
Oh. I would say the Roadster simply because Tesla has some manufacturing plants.
I think you're right.
Fisker doesn't even own a manufacturing facility.
Elon has even said they're going to put rockets on that thing. And I bet you they make that first.
Yes.
Because Fisker just, oh boy. I want them to succeed. I want to see a crazy car company like this. They're based out of the U.S. too, right?
Yeah, I believe so. But they don't build much in the U.S. right now.
No. Oh boy.
So that's the Fisker Rōnin.
That's great.
Would you like that to go with your Cadillac Celestiq?
Sure.
So between the two of them, you're over $700,000 worth of EV.
And they're both what should just be concept cars at CES.
Yes.
They're great there. They're not great in reality.
Literally, in two cars, you're over $700,000, and they're both absolutely ridiculous.
That's crazy.
So let's move on to something a little more down to earth, shall we?
Great.
Let's talk about the new Nissan Z NISMO.
Oh.
The NISMO has been revealed. You get a little bit extra horsepower and more track readiness. And let's get into it.
Nissan gave you performance for their performance package?
Yes. Ish.
Better than Subaru. Let's go.
You know what? You're damn right about that.
Let's go.
So, Nissan has revealed the NISMO version of the new Z. And right off the bat, just looking at pictures, it looks much better than the standard Z.
It does.
The new front fascia and rear diffuser and all that and the side skirts, that makes that a very attractive looking car.
The red line on the bottom looks great. The gray and the black.
They actually tweaked the grille as well.
Did they?
Yeah.
Ah.
It's actually a bit more than that. You get like a honeycomb grille. You get it's a little bit more designed. The NISMO Z is a striking looking thing.
Ooh, I like that side profile.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good look. I do like that. But let's get into what makes this the Z NISMO versus just the Z Performance. So I have bad news. The bad news starts with there is no manual transmission available for this car.
Really?
Yeah, the standard Z and the Z Performance you can get in manual transmission. But the NISMO is strictly 9-speed automatic. Lap times is what they're looking for. But is that why you buy this car?
No.
Correct.
No.
And that's what every comment on any forum, on any social media site has absolutely flamed Nissan about, was you were going so well and then you just forgot to put the manual in it and then you lost it.
That's very odd. That is very odd that they did that.
They say it's much quicker on track.
Yeah, it is, but who cares?
I agree.
It's the James May Nürburgring problem.
Yes.
Nürburgring ruins cars.
Yes.
This is ruining this car, unfortunately.
Yes.
Tell me more about it, though.
Okay, so you do get that 9-speed automatic transmission is retuned, so it is snappier and harder and faster. You get a track mode with that transmission, so it gives you like lightning fast shifts, which I would frankly hope so. You get the same twin turbo 3-liter V6. But in that V6, you get, let's see, a redesigned wastegate. You get better cooling and performance-enhancing ignition timing based off of the GTR Nismo.
So they gave it an ECU tune?
From the GTR.
From the GTR.
So derived from the Nismo version of the GTR.
Derived in quotes.
In quotes, yes. Now, with all that extraness, you get 20 extra horsepower. Wow. You do get 34 more pound-feet of torque.
Okay. 20 and 30 is not what I had in mind.
I agree. But nevertheless,
okay.
It is more.
It is.
So you get about 420 horsepower versus 400, and you get 384 torques with this.
It's better. Okay.
It is better. Is it enough?
I don't know. The horsepower per dollar is going to matter here. We'll come to that.
We will. And I'm not super stoked for that part,
boy.
but we'll get back to that. You get a bigger oil cooler with the engine as well. That way you can actually keep going for longer, right? You do get other touches that give you this to make sure that this is Nismo, not just a peasant Z. You get, let's see, lots of exterior touches like the grille and the honeycombs and all that. But you also get your wheels are lighter than the stock ones. So lighter wheels and much stickier tires.
Those do look like some race wheels and tires.
Yeah, you get stickier rubber and lighter wheels. So that's actually really good. Mm-hmm. And those brakes, those are upgraded. Those are much bigger brakes than factory, than standard.
Bigger.
Yep. Even the chassis has been stiffened up a whole bunch.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa. So they went all the way to the frame.
Yeah.
To make this a race car.
Yes. But here's my beef. It's estimated at $60,000.
What's the current Z that's not a Nismo?
40, starting about 40.
45, say?
Ish.
Okay. So $15,000 for...
60.
$15,000 to $20,000 extra.
Oh.
For some brakes, some tires, 20 horsepower, 30 torque, some extras here and there, some cooling.
And mind you, the current, the new Nissan Z, not even the Nismo, but just the Nissan Z in general, is still on like a, 10 to 14-year-old chassis that weighs 1 million?
And it's not a manual.
Were they this close to like a home run?
I think if they gave it another like 40, if they had given it 50 extra horsepower and a manual, yeah, I think it's worth it. But for $15,000 to $20,000, I could take the stock Z and get more performance than this,
And still have a manual.
Like, no doubt.
Oh, easily.
The ECU tune alone could probably give you that 20 to 50 horsepower.
Oh, very easily.
Yes.
Most turbocharged engines with a simple ECU tune, you're a pretty simple 50 horsepower gain.
Yes, without even that much danger.
Correct. And actually, like, no danger.
Right. Yeah.
All right, so let's rate it. Looks, 1 through 5.
4.
Okay, I'm going 4.5.
Okay.
Performance.
2. 2.5?
2.5, yeah.
2.5? Because they gave it more. They gave it something.
They did. They
go
called it
full
a
Subaru.
Nismo, and they didn't just slap some paint on it.
They gave it something.
Price. 1.5.
You have 1.5? 1?
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
I'm not seeing the value here.
$60,000 for this is not worth it.
But wait. Imagine the additional dealer markup you're going to get.
$70,000 for this? Significantly not worth it.
Some poor chump is probably going to pay $90,000 for this car.
Oh, you think it's that bad?
I think so. Yeah, some dealer is gonna mark it up $30,000.
Do we know
some schmuck is gonna buy it?
Certainly. Do we know how many of these they're gonna make?
Enough.
Okay, so there was no this is a limited run of.
I'm sure they're gonna I'm sure they're gonna come out with some number, but it's gonna be quite a bit.
Okay. Yeah.
It looks great, but I fear they were so close to being so good, and it just fell.
I'm trying to think, what's a car that has come out recently that has actually had a performance gain that we're like, good job, manufacturer.
Let's see.
There haven't been many.
No.
I don't know how manufacturers swing and miss on this so often.
I think we're getting to a point in time and history where manufacturers are nickel and diming. Not that they haven't been doing that forever, but
right.
I feel like it's getting worse.
I don't think it's going to get any better in the EV world. I think it's going to get worse.
I don't like that.
In theory, it should get better.
I don't like that.
Because there are less parts and they're more efficient and yada, 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 yada. In practice, they're corporations that want money. If everyone else is doing a $300,000 Cadillac, why would they not do a $300,000 Nissan that 5 people will buy, but they'll still turn more profit?
Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Some wild news today.
Yeah, very silly cars.
Very silly cars.
So that's all I've got for news. Do you have any other news?
I do not.
And that's going to wrap us up for episode 254. Thanks so much for watching and listening. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel, leave a thumbs up, and drop a comment on the video. Let us know, what are your thoughts on the new Nissan Z NISMO? Be curious, do you think it's worth what they're going to be charging for it? And if you're listening on audio only, send us those thoughts via social. Facebook is We Are Auto, Instagram is We Are Auto _, YouTube is We Are Auto, and our website is weareauto.io. So, thanks again. Catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.